to be. He's an amazing player. And they just kept feeding the ball down to him. And in the end, like the referee said, it was 3. And then the sending off, he couldn't complain. He couldn't complain about the sending off because he was running towards him. He headed him. So it was horrible to see.
Right, he's not happy, but one man who is Harry Kane. 2 more North London derby goals. Big win for Tottenham. Harry, great to see you. How special, how critical do you think that was tonight?
Yeah, no, really important. The pressure was on us as a team to deliver those 3 points to keep the Champions League alive, and played really well on the front foot from the start, and obviously created them problems and took our chances when we needed to. And then obviously in the second half scored the goal and controlled the game really well. So really good night for the team.
Big moment for you in the first half at 0-0. I think it was the first effort on target. 20 penalties out of 20 for Tottenham now.
Yeah, no. Obviously whenever I get a penalty, I feel like I'm in a good place to put it away. Practice hard during the week and just waiting for that opportunity. So nice to see that one go in, and obviously got us off to a good start. And then we kind of built the momentum from there.
And the poacher goal?
Yeah, the back post one, you get 5 of them a season probably if they just fall at the right time, and thankfully it did today. So we've been working on set pieces during the week. We scored a couple now in the last 2 games, so it's a real important part of the game if we want to go ahead and win the next 2. 13
North London derby goals for you. I know it's always a special fixture, but tonight and everything that was on it, what's it like? What's that adrenaline rush like in a stadium packed like that tonight?
Yeah, no, it was an incredible atmosphere. Obviously, you could feel the anticipation building up throughout the whole week, really. It was a massive game. And, the atmosphere here was unbelievable, especially when we got off to the start that we did. So, it's not often you get to control the game like we did in the second half in a North London derby. So, it was really enjoyable.
Harry, Glenn Hoddle here. Congratulations on the 3 points. Great performance. Now head down for Burnley and Norwich. It's a little bit Spursy if we don't get the 6 points.
Yeah, no, it's important,
Yeah.
Obviously tonight was a big night, the pressure is on and we delivered, but it makes no difference if we don't win on Sunday. So, we've got a quick turnaround. We played 12 o'clock on Sunday now against a tough team who are fighting for points at the bottom. So, we know we're not getting ahead of ourselves, but of course if we can win that game, we can put the pressure back on Arsenal. So, we're fully focused onto that now.
And all that psychological edge is coming into it with 2 games to play. If you beat Burnley, Arsenal aren't in the top 4 by the time they next play at Newcastle.
Yeah, I mean, we can only control what we can control. We've got a big game at home to Burnley on Sunday. Of course, if we win that, it will put a bit more pressure. Newcastle away is obviously a difficult game. Newcastle have been on great form recently. But like I said, 2 games, we just got to try and get 6 points. And then, just hope that that is enough come next Sunday.
It is all about 4th. It is all about the team. But I can't let you go without mentioning Sonny. Another goal for him. 21. He's 1 behind Mo Salah. You might be handing a trophy to Sonny at this rate.
No, look, Sonny's had a fantastic season. Incredible player. Nice to see him get on the score sheet again today. So he deserves everything he gets. He works really hard for the team, on and off the ball. Defensively, works really hard. So delighted to see him up there. He's taken his opportunities when he gets them. And there's 2 games now, and hopefully he can finish strong and help us get to that Champions League spot.
Harry, Ian Wright, I just wanted to say, how you doing, Harry? I ain't got nothing to ask you. I don't want people to think I'm just being like sour grapes, not asking Harry something.
Harry, he's crying here. He's crying in my shoulder.
How are you, Ian? That's the more
I'm not
important
bad, I'm not bad. I've never, ever fancied to miss a penalty, so I knew that we were in trouble once you stepped up.
Cheers, guys.
Thanks, Harry. Well played tonight. Thanks for joining us.
Cheers, thank you.
Well done, H. Congratulations.
You always like to get involved in the conversation. You're not rude. That's
well,
I like your
but the things I don't want
manners.
people to think like, it's big Harry Kane there. I don't want people not asking him a question because it's Arsenal and I'm gutted about it. It's Harry Kane there, man. Go ask him something.
It's tremendous to have him join us live as well. And ironically, Sonny's ahead of him in the scoring chart.
Yeah.
He looked
a little bit
disappointed. No, but I think Son was really.
Hey, listen, he could score 2 hat-tricks. Would that put him in the next 2 games? No, I mean, it would be ironic if he's handing it over. It's a good question you asked him there, Steve. But
take me all night, then, to be fair.
But the thing is,
got there in the end.
as we said before the game, there's no penalties for Son.
Yeah.
21, and no penalties. That's some going. It really is. Normally, there's a penalty taker when you're 20 plus.
You start taking them to
You know,
finish it off.
Yeah, but he's got no chance with that fella around. 20 out of 20. And as I said to him, that was a key moment, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They hadn't had an effort on target when he scored that penalty in the first half.
No, that's right. They were finding it hard because we'll look at it in a minute. El Neni was told to shield and screen in front of Harry. There wasn't as much space there until they went down to 10 men. So it wasn't an easy...
No.
The penalty was a massive turn. You know, the 1-0 going up. And then for Arsenal, this is the ball in. It's a lovely ball in, you know. And there's Cedric just goes straight into the back of Son. The problem is sometimes when you go down to 10 men and it's 0-0 or you're 1-0 up, it's a different game then.
Yes.
You've got something to hold on to.
Yeah.
They go 1-0 down, then they go down to 10 men. That is when you're in trouble. There's the knock. He knows it's over the top of Holding. He can't get there, so he's actually come into the back of him. Because I think Son would have headed that and probably scored.
You know, when the more I look at it, I'm thinking to myself, instead of just like he's not done anything. His body's in the wrong position. You know, I almost think just let him head it and see where we go from there, rather than give away such a soft penalty. So then, you know, you got Harry Kane, like you said, 20 on the spin. Somebody you're thinking he's probably not going to miss. Before you know it, you're 1-0 down and you're kind of doing okay in the game.
Yeah.
And then you give away a soft goal like that simply because what? You're out of the position, your body's turned wrong, and then you've nudged him. You're going to catch that. You're going to get that on VAR. I'm disappointed with that.
The big decision is Holding's decision after being booked for me. That changes the 1-0 down. So what? After 20 odd minutes or whatever, you get back in the game. But then when you go down to 10 men and you're 1 down, it's a different game. You've got to sort of have an eye on, well, we've got to come out and play a little bit. We've got to hang on to them, make sure the second doesn't go in. Well, they were all over the place from the set play, from the corner.
Yeah.
You've got to say, you've got Nketiah on the back post in a zonal. He's probably never marked there in his life. No. Holding's off, who probably would dominate. Odegaard, I don't know what he was doing on Davis. He gets dragged out of his position. Look, and there's Bentancur just strolls into a little space in the 6-yard box. Look, and Nketiah ball watching. Harry Kane does fantastically well. Little flick, back post, boom, in you go. And now you're 2-0 down with 10 men.
Yeah, you see, it's moving when everyone else is. Look, Harry Kane's the only one really moving forward. That's just like people, like he said, you get 5 of those a season, but you sniff that out. If Harry Kane doesn't move, he doesn't score that.
Ian, you would know more than anyone, but as that ball's in flight, that's when every Arsenal player will have their eyes on the ball. As it's being taken, you can still have a look at where your attacker is. But as soon as it's in flight and Harry Kane doesn't make his movement until the ball is halfway, and every Arsenal player, most defenders in the world will be doing it, you'll be looking at the ball then. And that's when he makes the movement. Look, ball's in the air, he's moving now. It's even a defender in there would find it hard, let alone the young Nketiah on the back post. That is perfect movement. Any striker like yourself, you wait for that ball in the air, and just bang, make your movement then.
And like he said, and it's something that kids should listen to. Remember, George Graham used to say it to me. It was my job to make sure any corner, it does not get past that back post. That's what Harry Kane's done there. And it was very clever the way he just eased out of the main melee of things. So as people not, where's Harry Kane? He was right out of it, almost getting himself in a position where he might be picked up. And then the ball in was great, to be honest, Gaffer. And then he just done what he does. He sniffed that goal out.
In terms of Harry Kane in open play, you kept an eye on El Neni in both halves, trying to sniff out the threat when he drops in.
Well, like we saw it, Gaffer, that was the ploy for Arsenal. Stop the ball into him. Look how many times he's looked to him, Gaffer. You know, look, he knows where he is, and he's stopping it. And even if he goes up, he's saying, pick him up, make sure you pick him up. Holding then gets hold of him, so you can see that they kind of got Harry Kane marked up, and there he is there, El Neni, heading it out. And this is the second half.
Well, this is when you go down to 10 men, you can't cover every angle. Sanchez comes, look at the gap there. We think Xhaka comes out tad too early. There's no danger there if he plays the ball to Kulusevski. So there's the hole. El Neni can't do what he was doing first half. Harry spins it falls to Son, and there's game, set and match 3-0. And that is the difference. They're the little things. When you're down to 10 men, you can't keep covering every blade of grass. There's always, you get a spare man in the end. And it was the ball into Harry Kane in the penalty area that caused the problem, really, for that goal.
And that was goal number 21 of the season for Son. Let's go back to the stadium now. Tim Sherwood is there for us. You've enjoyed being back at the ground tonight, Tim, have you?
Atmosphere, and obviously a fantastic result for Spurs.
Seen any fans?
Yeah, you couldn't help seeing fans, mate. I'm in a football ground.
Selfies. I never had you down. That's your new nickname, Selfie Sherwood. There's a gilet under there as well.
Yeah.
Of course. Compulsory here, mate. You've got to wear it.
Well, that supporter behind's got the gilet on. Just didn't.
He nicked that one. He nicked it.
There you go, Selfie Sherwood. We're milking it. No, what? In all seriousness, what was that like? The noise, because they knew the importance of this derby tonight.
Yeah, it was everything, wasn't it? I mean, the whole season was on this game for Spurs, and they had to get the job done. There was a lot of pressure. And obviously they got a helping hand, didn't they? I thought the penalty was soft, I have to be honest. I think you can get away with them, but once Holding does what he does, I mean, the game's over. They just controlled it from there on in. I thought they started badly, Tottenham. I thought Arsenal looked like they were really getting into there. They were sharing the ball around the pitch and getting comfortable. And all of a sudden they go ahead, and once Harry sends him the wrong way with a penalty spot, I thought it was uphill struggle from Holding. Makes a poor decision. I mean, he got involved with Son time and time again. I just don't know what he was thinking of.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we were saying here, Tim. I think that's where sometimes you go down to 10 men and it's 0-0 or you're 1-0 up. It's a different ball game. They go one down and then he gets sent off. Yeah. And as you say, I thought Arsenal started better than Tottenham first 10 minutes without really threatening. But Holding, I don't know, they were a bit undisciplined there today, we felt. I don't know whether it was the occasion, but Holding wanted to get tight when it wasn't right to get tight. He's making silly fouls. Yeah. And I just thought they were a little bit, sort of, I don't know, unprofessional in many ways. Whether the atmosphere got to him a little bit, I don't know.
I think there he just gets so tight because he's scared. I mean, Sonny gives him one there, you know, and I think he gets away with that. But he's obviously got away with one when he kicks him in the back. He was just frightened. He was scared stiff that he was going to get turned around and run it. Yeah. You know, so he thought, I'm going to get nice and tight. But you can't only get away with that once or twice. And obviously the referee decided he had to go. I mean, it was a stupid decision once he decides to. I mean, he stands him up. If he doesn't throw the arm, he might get away with it, and he just tries to block him off. But he's never catching the ball. He has to assess the flight of the ball, and he has to keep his team in the game. But unfortunately, he makes the wrong decision. And from there on in, they never come back. They can't come back from that. I mean, it was just impossible. But now, I mean, it's even more damage, Glenn and Righty. I mean, He's missing now. He's going to be out. Gabriel comes off. Looks like he's done a hamstring. Ben White's not 100% fit, so they've got real problems now.
Yeah, they have. Yeah, they have.
Has the door opened? I know it's still in Arsenal's hands, but has the door opened for Tottenham here with them playing first and Arsenal going to Newcastle Monday night?
Yeah, I think they will have the momentum, Steve. I mean, obviously the place is bouncing here. I don't see Tottenham dropping points. I really don't. I know they can be Spursy at times, and it can be inconsistent in their performances, but I really don't see them dropping points against Burnley and Norwich away. Newcastle away is always a difficult game. So listen, Everton at home, I expect them to get the job done there, but I mean, what teams are you going to pick now? The momentum's, the momentum's with Tottenham, but the advantage is certainly with Arsenal, because if you would have given this, you know, beginning of the season, you give them 2 games to go, 1 point lead to finish in the Champions League. I think Arteta's done a great job because he was under pressure from the outset. He started losing a few games. Everyone was on his back. He stayed calm, and he's got them in this position. So you have to give him a lot of credit for that.
But he's got to continue to stay calm with this game looming on Monday night.
Well, that's the thing. You look at the game, and if they had to look at that game, they could see there's mistakes they made what kind of handed the initiative over to Tottenham. So you have to take the positives from it and say, well, if we don't do that, and if Holding doesn't lose his head, if Cedric just lets him head it, he might miss whatever, just anything like that. So you look at it and you think to yourself, Tottenham didn't really do too much to win that game and let Arsenal look at Arsenal and think, oh my gosh, we were so bad. Yeah. So what you've got to do is, Tim's right, there's a lot of injuries, of course. Well, you have to stay calm because it's still in your hands. We're still a point ahead of Tottenham. We have to beat Newcastle, and it will be tough. I like Tim. I don't think that Tottenham will lose any games from here. So Arsenal know exactly what they've got to do. They've got to be very positive, and they've got to go to Newcastle to win.
And just finally, Tim, for Arsenal, that's just going to be as big as tonight now. That at St James's Park. Bigger. That could be their season.
Yeah, for Arsenal. I mean, the game on now. I mean, this was their chance. This was their cup final to put everything to bed and go on holiday early. But they can't do that now. They have to get their heads down and look to get maximum points. They're going to need maximum points in both games now. So the pressures are back onto Arsenal on that young side. You know, youngest side in the Premier League. Can they cope with it? It'd be nice to watch.
Listen, I hear there's a queue for those selfies, so we better let you go.
Okay, thank you, pal. Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Right, Tim Sherwood is smiling at the stadium. I don't think Mikel Arteta is. Here are the post-match thoughts of the Arsenal boss.
Mikel, what are your thoughts on a really disappointing night for Arsenal?
Well, to do an evaluate, if I say what I think, I'm suspended 6 months. So I cannot say. I'm allowed to give my interpretation of what happened in the game, but I don't know how to lie, and I don't like lying, so I prefer not to say what I think.
From the way you say that, I suspect that you're unhappy with some of the decisions that went against you, in your opinion. Would that be correct?
I cannot say what I think. I will be suspended.
Okay, then. Are you unhappy with your players?
With my players, no. I'm so proud of my players.
That answers the question for me, then. Will you talk about, first of all, the penalty decision and then the second yellow card? Or are you concerned?
You can ask the referee to come in front of the camera and explain his decisions. His decisions. I make mine, that's his decisions.
Unfortunately,
it's a shame because such a beautiful game was destroyed today.
Unfortunately, Mikel, though, we can't talk to the referee. If we go to the second yellow card, it's clear what you think of the decision, but should Rob Holding have showed more composure having already been booked?
The decision is made. Cannot change it.
But does he give the referee a choice to make, a decision to make? Has he got to be cleverer there?
The referee has to make decision in a reaction in football.
Okay, this isn't going anywhere in terms of decisions. I understand what you're saying there. When he sent off, Ben White looked like he was going to get ready. Was he never an option for you tonight, Ben White?
To take the risk in the situation that the game was, it didn't make any sense. And now focus on Newcastle. That's our focus. This game is history.
Do you think Ben White will be fit for Newcastle? Because obviously you've got no Rob Holding, and also, how bad does Gabriel look?
He felt something, so hopefully Ben will be fit, and hopefully we recover Gabi, because if not, obviously we don't have enough players in the backline.
In terms of tonight, has there been much damage done psychologically, do you feel, to your players?
Again, this game is history for us. I just said in the dressing room, now it's Newcastle. This is gone. We know how it went out of our hands, and we have to accept it, and now go to Newcastle and be the team that we are, the team that you've seen right from the beginning in this stadium.
Is that easier said than done, though? Just how flat are they?
No. This is very acceptable. You lost a football match in the conditions that we lost them. It's painful, but that pain cannot be sustained because we have a huge match on Monday, and now talk about the excitement of playing against Newcastle and try to beat them.
Although it's still in your hands, this victory for Tottenham, does this hand them the momentum? And of course they play before you as well.
We have 2 games to play each of us, and as you said, it's in our hands, and we have to do our job.
What have you got to show to win both games?
What we showed from the beginning in this stadium, the same.
I understand you're angry. Thanks for your time.
Thank you very much.
Righty, what do you make of that?
Well, I think it's obviously he's very angry there. And I feel for him because I always find, I don't know how I'd find that as a manager, you know, being as angry as you are, seeing the decisions that were made, as angry as he is, and not seeing that, especially in the Rob Holding scenario, that he was somebody that was, I don't know if he was overhyped, I don't know what it was, but he was causing himself problems.
Mikel Arteta's clearly got a different view to you, though.
He has got a different view to me, but the fact is, I think if he sees it all again, you know, maybe there was some. I was saying to you a couple of times. I remember I mentioned the referee. I felt he's a homer. You know, maybe I was messing around in that. Maybe he's seen something where he's thinking we're not getting those little decisions or stuff like that. He's feeling like the referee may be leaning towards the home team, but in respects of the decisions he had to make, the penalties after Rob Holding sending off, I don't think he's got much of a case there.
I would have every sympathy for him if it was a real outrageous penalty that's been given against him. We both agree ourselves. You agree that it was a penalty. We thought it was a penalty. Son's lining up to head it, gets whacked in the back, pushed forward, gets out of the line of the ball. That was the key moment for me. So I don't know whether Mikel could actually sit here with us and go, that's never a penalty. Look, there's the push, pushes him out of the way when he's going to head it. And then with Holding, I think all 3 of them are fouls. The referee's gone, he's even put his fingers 3 times I've had to do this one here. I don't understand where Mikel could sit here with us now and say, Well, that's not a foul. Look, he's not even looking at the ball. It's like an NFL tackle. He's took him out of the game. And it's hit him in the face as well. So I'm saying if it was an outrageous, the referee's got it, I'd have sympathy for him. But every single case, I think it's there. Evidence is there that there's a foul for the penalty. There's 3 fouls, and then he does that. Yes, as a manager, you're thinking about Newcastle now. I understand that. And he's got to protect his players.
I think, yeah.
He's protecting his players by not committing what he really wants to say. But I think at the light of day, he's emotional at the moment, but in the light of day, when he sits down and looks at it, he's thinking, that's against my team. I'm saying they're 3 fouls. I'm saying there's a penalty there. And that's how he's looking at it at the moment. I've been in them shoes.
I was going to say,
because
do you sometimes, in this case, on a Thursday night, be pumped up, and then Friday, when you've looked at the DVD, you think, why did I say that?
Yeah.
Because that happens. Does it
Absolutely.
just because of the emotion?
Look, I think Klopp said something he regretted after the Tottenham
About
game last
Conte.
week, didn't he? And he actually come out in the press conference, didn't he, for the next game and said, look, I was wrong when I said it. I thought I was right, but I was wrong. It's the emotion of when you lose a game or with Klopp, they drew. So at the end of the day, it's an emotional game. As a manager, you're responsible for your team. So what you say in the dressing room sometimes, you're not going to go on the television and go bang, bang, bang. You say it to your players. You protect them when you go out there. And quite honestly, he's gone down to 10 men. They've lost 3-0 against their North London rivals. He, as a manager, and his team are thinking about Newcastle now. They're not worried about what went on tonight because they think there was an injustice. But you're planning, as a manager, you're planning now, which is a massive game for Arsenal up at Newcastle. So he's thinking, what's going to be right for Newcastle? I can't lose my players if I ever go at them and say, Holding was this, Holding. You're thinking about your next game. You've got to be positive for them to get the points up at St James.
I think, Gaffer, as well, the way we started that game, obviously there wasn't enough of it. I think you could take a lot out of it because we passed it around, we looked pretty good. It was going okay until, like you see, those mistakes. If we could have went in half-time, if you go in half-time in that game the way it was going, and it's you take that. But even, I look at that game, look at the mistakes, look at the things that's happened, the incidents. Other than that, there's nothing about it what made me say, we were terrible with this. I think we just got to stay calm. He looked very emotional. Hopefully, he was calm in the dressing room so as the guys can see that it's calm because it's not over. We're 1 point ahead and we've got to win 2 games. So everybody, just like I say, I'm going to continue to say it. My narrative is to stay calm. We have to stay calm.
I thought Arsenal, right, at the beginning, I think he was looking about the first 10, 15 minutes with the ball. With the ball, they were slightly better than Tottenham. But for me, defensively, they were doing a really good job. Spurs were finding it very hard to break them down. El Neni was doing his job, forever looking, where's Kane? That's my job today, to screen him and screen the centre-backs. And they were looking good defensively in what was going to be a cauldron, what was going to be a massive game. With the ball, they started quite well as well, without creating any chances. You've got to be fair, they weren't carving Tottenham open, but they started better than Tottenham with the ball. But for me, defensively, they were excellent. They looked solid. Now, 11v11, if they kept playing like that, Spurs would have found it very difficult. To open them up, but they got the break with the penalty.
Only Liverpool and Manchester City have picked up more Premier League points. It was his first North London derby tonight, and he's won it by 3-0. Here's what he thinks about it all.
Antonio, Harry Kane said that was the best atmosphere in this stadium since he's been here. Is that the best night you've had at this stadium?
Yeah, for sure. The atmosphere was amazing, and for this reason we have to tell thanks to our fans because they were incredible from the start until the end. They pushed us a lot. I think we repaid their faith with a good win. Good win because you won an important derby, but especially because now we are very close to them on the table. Only 1 point. There are 2 games to go. And for sure we need to have to recover very well because we are going to play on Sunday at 12 o'clock. An important game against a team that they have beaten us. For this reason, I was very clear with my players. I try to to enjoy, to celebrate in the right way, but at the same time we have to think on Sunday. Otherwise, this win, you won a derby, but it will be important this win if we are going to win on Sunday against Burnley.
Harry Kane has an extraordinary record from the penalty spot now. When you get a penalty and he steps up, do you simply expect him to score?
Yeah, but he's very accurate, and because in every training session after the training, stay there to kick penalty. And honestly, I want finger crossed. And I have never seen him to make a mistake. When I go on the penalty, honestly, I'm very calm. I'm very calm because I know that he's really good, not only in this aspect. Because I repeat, we're talking about a fantastic striker, and I hope I repeat now to have another good game on Sunday, and our fans they are going to play an important role, because they have to go together on Sunday to play against Burnley all together, and we are very close. We are very close to reach an important target for us. We stay behind 1 point, but you know very well in England, no easy game for us, no easy game for Arsenal.
What did you say to Sonny to forgive you for taking him off?
Yeah, but and for sure, and Sonny wanted to continue to play and to try to score. No, yeah, but I had to think not only in this game, but I had to think that we need a player to recover well, fresh player, especially in the role with Sonny and Kulusevski, Lucas, Bergwijn. That role you spent a lot of energy. And for this reason, I had the possibility to make a substitution, to give them a bit of rest, and I did this. And but now, and for sure, he promised me on Sunday and to score.
Ian Wright's got every sympathy with Sonny, not Antonio Conte. He's one goal behind most of that.
Yeah, and you know he's obviously thinking about it. You can see how disappointed he was to be taken off. But then you look at a manager like Antonio Conte. He's not. That's the furthest thing from his mind. He wants to make sure that he looks after him. He wants to make sure that he's okay for those 2 games. And if you look at someone like Sonny, he's devastated. You can see Højbjerg talking to him. I think when he goes off, someone talks to him on the bench. But the way he plays and the calibre player he is, he can nick a couple of goals against Burnley and definitely a couple of goals against Norwich.
If someone had said to you in the same situation, don't worry, you can nick a couple, I'm sure you would have been as understanding.
You'd be devastated. I'd be devastated because his little eyes up. You could do it. You can do it. You can do it like tonight. You know the way it was going with Arsenal, 10 men. You know they were tiring. He could have maybe nicked another couple. So
that little caption there epitomises a manager's thoughts and a player's thoughts. As a player, when we were players, it was all individual. It was me. If you get taken off, you think, why has he took me off? He wants to stand, and the manager's thinking ahead. Take it as a compliment, son. Take it as a compliment. I could have took somebody else and saved them. I'm saving you for what's going to happen, on Sunday. He did it with Davis as well. He took Davis off, give him a little bit of a rest, put Roden on. So he's done it with 3 of them, really. The players he's took off, he's in control of that game. So that's dead and buried. We're 3-0 up against 10 men. I'm thinking that both managers tonight are thinking about their next game. Yeah. Ironically, for different reasons. Arteta's thinking about the injuries he's got. Ben White, not going to put him on, not going to waste him because we're 3 down 10. And now Conte's thinking about the next game. And that's the difference between being a player and a manager.
And talking of the next game, I mean, the magnitude of it, do you expect Arsenal to win 2 games now and still complete the job? Yeah,
I do, yeah. They know that it's in their hands. If they want to get back in the Champions League, they've got to win 2 games. They're a point ahead of Spurs, and if they do it, they will be 4th. So they know exactly what they've got to do. It's as simple as that.
Okay,
I think if I'm a Newcastle player and I'm Eddie Howe at the moment, I'm looking at that going, oh yeah, if those centre-backs are not ready, then we're up for this.
I shall let you two continue this conversation long into the night. Thank you. It is always a pleasure to watch a North London derby with Glenn Hoddle and Ian Wright. It was very much Tottenham's night, but the advantage is still in Arsenal's hands with 2 to play. From the 3 of us, see you soon.